If you're a follower of the channel, you know that I love Venom. And Venom's popularity, especially over the last 3 years with Donny Cates, has completely soared through the roof. I mean, they're venomizing and symbioting everything. From Absolute Carnage to King in Black. I often wonder, if Venom was introduced before Spider-Man, would he have been more popular? Of course he is. Because compared to Venom, Spider-Man's a pussy. Oh, I said it. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey everybody, welcome to the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X and we're looking at another Extreme collectible. We have a custom 1/4 scale Venom statue. So custom means it was a private unlicensed commission. They only made 60 of these. 1/4 scale means Venom is 4 times larger than this in real life. Now, as you can see, this is actually based off Venom #1, a variant Dell'Otto cover. And I am stoked to have this in the house because I think this is one of the best Venom statues. In fact, I own probably about 30 Venom statues, and I'm going to sell half of them. Yes, that's right, I'm selling half of them. So if you're interested in that, don't message me. Just make sure you've not only liked this video, but you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification because I will sell them through the channel here. But for today, we are going to look at this amazing piece. And it's amazing because, as a spoiler, this will not be one of the ones I'm selling. And I'm so happy to have this in the house. Definitely exceeded expectations on every single level. And we're going to look at why in an Extreme review today. We're going to look at paint, sculpt, concept. Come on, we're waiting for you to go around. But we'll kick it off with concept. So as I said, this is actually based off this Dell'Otto cover. Obviously, they added to it because you can't see the entire aspect other than the fact that he's in a sewer. And you know, with Venom, I always talk about this. As I said, this is probably like the 30th Venom statue I've reviewed. With Venom, there's 2 big choices you have to make. One is, where is his setting going to be? Is he going to be in a sewer or on top of a building? Because 90% of Venom statues fall into those 2 categories. The other thing you have to decide is he going to be more of a humanoid form or very creature-esque, very monster-like? And I think you can see what they did with this one. Obviously, it's in a sewer. Now, they went a little bit above and beyond because there's a lot going on in this sewer. Not only from the brick and stone and pipes, but obviously the liquid or raw sewage effect or whatever you want to look at. And it's actually coming in a waterfall on the back we're going to look at during paint and sculpt up close. Then you have the arch behind him. You know, and this is insinuating he just walked through the door of the sewer or the archway in the sewer, and I think it really adds to the statue. Venom himself is bent over, and obviously this is a very monster-like Venom, a very creature-esque Venom. That's what Dell'Otto liked to do a lot of the time. And he is hunched over, and he just looks evil, like a monster. Now, one of the things we're going to look at is some of the paint is stuff I normally don't like, but I think it fits this concept a lot better. And it comes with multiple portraits. We're going to look at that during design, but I absolutely love it. I think they didn't do anything new. However, they took elements from everything that's been done before, both in license and custom, put it together to match the Dell'Otto cover, and it turned out fantastic. I love this concept. It's a strong 4 out of 5 on the Extreme scale for sure. Now let's talk about the design, which honestly, unfortunately, I did have some breakages. We'll talk about those with the unboxing and assembly, but let me measure him first before we get to that. The widest point, please be under 24, is 21 inches. Yes. Tallest point, please be under 24. It's going in a Mod case. 23 and a quarter, probably. Deepest point, please be under 24, is probably 20 and 3/4, just under 21 inches. So he will fit in a standard DF60 or DF120 Mod case, which is fantastic. Now let's look at the unboxing and assembly. 2 boxes. One of them just had Venom in it. Now the first box didn't have an art box or anything, but it had this white foam on top of the black foam, and it was to protect the clear resin that gives you the water effect. Unfortunately, it didn't protect it well enough. As you see, mine still had breakages, and we're going to talk more about this. It's right where the foot goes in. But below that was another layer of the base and some of the portraits you can see right here. Then below that was the archway and more of the portraits. One of the portraits was actually twist tied in, this transformation portrait, and you see I had some damage. Now right here is the second box. Had a pretty cool art box, believe it or not. Looked a little bit like Tom Hardy, even though I think it's not supposed to. and the standard foam, and it was just one layer because it was Venom's body. Took up quite a bit of room. No damages on that. I mentioned there's some different portraits. So the first one here is kind of directly off the cover, although the tongue is going in a little bit different direction. Then you have a closed mouth portrait, which looks badass as well. And then a transformation portrait. Not my favorite transformation portrait, and here you can actually see some of the damage. The other was actually the resin here, the water effect. It was damaged around his left foot here. Doesn't look horrible. It's the back of the statue, so you're not going to see it. But my God, if I ever sell this down the road, I don't even think I'd feel comfortable shipping it. I'm betting a lot of these resins will actually be broken. I'm filming this a week or two before the video launches, so the 60 lucky collectors are actually getting there, so we will find that out. So I actually consider myself to be pretty lucky. I can just have my wife, who actually paints statues. If you want to check that out, check this video out right here where she painted my thing. Just paint over the end of that broken transformation part. So getting the archway in did take a little bit of difficulty. I edited a lot of it out in the video, but it probably took a good 5 minutes to finally slip it in just right.
That's what she said.
So I'm very happy with the design. I think they made the water effect look pretty cool. It is up a little bit, but I'm not going to be looking at this from below. The seam line on Venom's neck is very minimal, so that's pretty impressive. So I give them a 4 out of 5 on the design. Not a perfect score because of the damages. Paint and sculpt, they knocked this shit out of the park. This is done really well. I was very excited. This is one of my favorite sculptors that did this. Let me show you what I mean. All right, I want to start with some of the portraits here. Now, what I really liked about this is what they did with the eyes. They added some purple to it, which I have seen before, but typically you see the purple in the actual symbiote. So there's almost like striations of red and purple. I think that's incredible. The teeth on both, all the portraits look fantastic. You know, this is more of the creature-esque Venom, where his teeth are kind of everywhere and overlapping. Very yellow and different stains of yellow. And then the red around the gum line looks absolutely fantastic. I really like that dark color. And really quick, the transformation portrait. Not the biggest fan on this. I think it's the eye. I like the gloss over the eye, almost like it's a clouded lens. But his nose, a little bit too big. And his eyebrow, I'm just not feeling that. Yeah, the transformation portrait, in fact, probably go back in the box if I wasn't afraid it was going to break more. And we'll look at the other portrait here too, but let me start with the base. Like I said, they did a really nice job with this. There's a lot of different things going on. They have the bricks, the piping, bricks on the side here. There's a glistening moist effect on almost all this, which makes sense because of the water effect they put on top of it. And then I like the wear, not only grooved into the sculpt, but kind of that brown staining all over. And then the waterfall effect here, I think that's really cool. Unfortunately, it's at the back. But you also see like the makings of what was a door here, these latch handles. Again, some pipe running. Really, really cool stuff going on this base. The flow of the water looks great. I like kind of how it's swirling all over, and they used a few different colors, greens, to kind of accentuate that. Now, regarding Venom, first his suit. I think they did a really nice job just making it look alive. Now, it's black on black, so they didn't do a lot of variation of blue or, like I said, purple. And then there's almost, like I said, some striations if you look really close on the matted part, and I think that helps to give it that live effect feel. I can't tell if there's some of that moist glistening effect on him. I don't think there is. I think that's just a light bouncing off. But while you do see some humanoid proportions in there, it's very creature-esque. So he doesn't necessarily have, really defined legs, although you do see a little bit in the shoulders and biceps and quads there. Now, they decided to go black with his fingernails. I've seen both black and white and even gray. I think it works really well. It's almost like a transition of the suit, and that makes more sense to me. His toenails, also very similar, and they even added some of the moist effect on the toenails, which is a small detail that's very smart. Now, the spider symbol, first of all, it is protruding. A lot of times you see it indented, and it does go all the way around, which is nice, and that's the way it's should be. But I don't like it when they do this poop stain color on there. However, he is in a sewer, so it kind of makes sense. And I see that more and more on a lot of Venom custom pieces. I've done a few reviews on ones in the past. But the symbol looks great. I'm just not a fan of that, but like I said, it still makes sense. Now, this portrait, definitely the best portrait, and for multiple reasons, but a lot of the same comments about the eyes and the teeth and the gums. The tongue looks great. Nice glistening effect. Pretty sure it's a translucent type resin, but they really painted pretty deep colors of red and black in there to help with venation on the tongue. It's a really nice piece. I mean, I think they knocked out the paint and sculpt on this guy, and it's just, I'm very impressed overall. Sculpt, we'll start with that. I think it's no-brainer, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. I think it's absolutely fantastic. They delivered. I remember seeing the 3D renders and now seeing it here in real life. Very, very impressed. Paint, I think they did a really good job too. I've got a lot of statues from this particular factory, and I think that they are just getting better and better with paint. I have to give the paint 5 out of 5. While I'm still not a huge fan of the shit-stained white logo, it makes sense if he's in a sewer, so I can't really fault them for that. And there is some comic basis of that. All right, so is this statue worth it? There are so many different Venom statues, both licensed and custom, and I think the custom ones are superior for the most part. In fact, I think in my collection, that's the majority of what I'm actually keeping, is a lot of the customs. But with such a low edition size of 60, you pay a lot for this. Retail was $1,200, and then shipping was $500. So this is $1,700 in. Now, it's a lot bigger than your typical Sideshow premium format, which is about half this size. And there's the rarity factor. And while I'm not going to rank this the best Venom statue ever, I think it's near the top. I don't think I'd have a problem getting my money back, the $1,700 for this. In fact, I think this is going to be pretty highly sought after. So I'm going to give the value a 4 out of 5, which kind of shocks me. I never thought the day would come where I rank a statue that costs $1,700 for a quarter scale a 4 out of 5 on value, but this one I'm going to. Now, final score. If you're new here, this is not a cumulative score. It's just, is this badass? Does this have the X factor? Recently I did a video about buying all these slabs. You can actually check it out right here. So these are graded comics to pair with my statues. As you see, I have one here. And kind of a disclaimer, since that video, I've bought about 20 or 30 more. If you want to see what those look like in the collection or where he's going to be displayed at, make sure to check out the Extreme Channel's social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. The link for the description is below. But anyway, I think the slab really complements him, so I'm definitely going to have that in the display with him. But I think this is incredibly badass. As long as you don't display it low, kind of a negative design thing we didn't talk about, I think it's a 5 out of 5. It does have the X factor. It's really impressive. I love this guy. Like I said, he's definitely one of my favorite Venom statues. He did not disappoint. Very happy with him. Where do you guys think he ranks with my other Venoms? If you haven't seen the other Venoms, check out some of the videos at the end. But for now, just comment that below because I read every comment. I really appreciate it, and it enters you into a drawing for a statue. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Thanks so much for letting me share this with you guys. Again, I really appreciate it. Please drop me a like. It really helps the channel and it costs you nothing. And if you got nothing else to do, watch some of these other videos. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.